Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request from Omega Bear. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random topic, movie news, tier list ranking, movie review, re-review, commentary reaction, video game playthrough, what have you, feel free to send it. I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I really appreciate it. But this is for the 2002 TV movie Carrie. Now, I've seen the original by Brian De Palma. Very well made film. Great work by De Palma with the split screens and the way he directed the film. Sissy Spacek's performance. Early role of Nancy Allen, who would be in RoboCop. John Travolta. A very good movie. I do remember seeing the remake. And was it Chloe Grace Moretz in it? I barely remember anything. I remember not being that impressed by it. But I'd never seen this one. Now the thing with this movie, it was pretty much a backdoor pilot for an NBC TV show. Because I remember around the same time, The Dead Zone got a TV show. Played by Anthony Michael Hall. In fact, it might have been the same year as this. And sorry about that. Yeah, I think it was the same year, 2002. I do remember liking that show. I didn't like how it didn't have much of an ending, but I do remember liking that show, The Dead Zone. I like to rewatch that sometime. And it was very successful for, was it USA it was on? But anyway, this one obviously was not successful enough. It did not get its TV show. But it stars Angela Bettis, which that's an actress that at one point you thought would kind of get into bigger things, but never really did. She was in films like May, among others. I think she still works, but you never hear about that actress again. But she's definitely the shining point in this movie. I did think Angela Bettis did a good job. I mean, it's hard to compare. It's hard to not compare because Carrie did it so well. So when other movies tried to do the film, it's like, well, you're not really going to be directing like Brian De Palma. And he directed that very well. And the thing with this, I guess you could say maybe it's more like the book. I never read the book, to be fair. So I guess for those who are much more knowledgeable on the book, you can let me know. I do know that in the book there was stuff about, rocks falling on the sky, on Carrie's house. At the end of the film, she destroys a good chunk of the town. They tried to do that on the remake. It came out, I would say a few years ago by this point, like a decade ago. But the thing is, this is a TV movie, so the production values are rarely... For some of them, rarely competent, and this is one of them, where the CGI just looks awful, man. It looks awful. I mean, it begins with these bad CG rocks falling from the sky like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie. But Angela Bettis, again, I do like her approach to the character of Carrie. I thought she did a good job. She's someone I could feel sorry for. I really bought her anxiety. I thought she was on edge, like she tried to put her head down, but people just kept messing with her. I don't know if this is in the book, so you could tell me if this is the case. It's done in a way where it's a lot of flashbacks, where we're with an investigation, and a cop is asking people, the survivors of the event. So he'll ask Sue Snell, that character, or the gym teacher, or some other students, and they start talking, and then you go into this big flashback of what all happened. Was that part of the book, or is that something they did just for this movie? If it's part of the book, okay, they tried to be more faithful. If it's not, then I don't know if I really cared about this approach. I mean, it's cool to see David Keith as the cop, because he was in the original Firestarter, so you kind of have a different type of Stephen King connection. David Keith does not do a bad job. It's just, I just don't know if this really merited this whole flashback to Angel. I just don't know if that was really the best way to tell the story. I guess to tell a bit differently than the original Terry film and differentiate itself. I just don't know you really found anything or really got any valuable information from this cop interview stuff. It didn't really lead anywhere. It's not like the cop like found something out or found some secret out. It didn't really lead to anything. Maybe that's why I felt that way. But other people in the cast, Patricia Clarkson, I remember, I remember her from the Dirty Harry, the Deadpool, that one with Clint Eastwood. She was kind of the possible girlfriend for Clint Eastwood. Eastwood was protecting her. The Deadpool is a very good Dirty Harry film. My second favorite after Magnum Force. So it's cool to see her in there. She does fine as the mom, not as good as the original, but I thought she did fine. I don't remember her name, but I did not mind the actress who plays Sue Snell. And yes, they did change her race because she was white in the movie. Here she's black. I don't care. Some people might care about that. I didn't care. I thought the actress did a pretty good job. Why'd you mention it? Because, trust me, the world of today, people will mention it. And it shows her being picked on in school. She's ostracized. It does show the shower scene. Only, I don't know who this director was. Because I couldn't find a whole lot of what they'd done. But, the scenes don't really have much tension. The way it's directed, it's either this kind of weird, shaky cam that looks like a TV movie because it is. Or, this really awful music at times. Whether during that scene with, plug it up, or there's a scene later where Carrie does some usage of her powers and she looks up at the computer miracles and who she is and what these things might be. And the music, I don't know how to describe the music. It's just off. It just doesn't fit. It feels like a score for a different type of movie. So I thought the score, the soundtrack to this, they did a pretty bad job with it. Other scenes that happen, early on when a guy's picking on her, he's doing these orgasm oh god, oh god, oh god. And I'm sitting there going, dude, you're more embarrassing yourself than her. I mean, if a guy's standing there acting like he had an orgasm, you're the fool. I'm like, is your pants wet now? Not from pissing? Okay, goodbye. Change your diapers, buddy. They're playing baseball. She misses. People give her crap. The principal keeps getting her name wrong, which is stupid because Carrie White is such the easy name. So it's they're trying too hard for this guy to be a dick and forgetting her name. I mean, maybe that's part of the novel, but I don't know, either the actor or the way it's written could have been done a bit better, bit more efficient, bit more believable. And that's when Terry, one of the first things she uses her power, flips the desk over. You do have the scene with the kid on the bike, and the kid picks on her and she does her thing. Although in the original it did look like he just kind of fell, so if people see it, okay, just he fell. No, here she picks him up and from the side, boom, bashes him right against the tree, him and the bike. So it's particularly to tell the audience, no, this is a supernatural thing. I'm guessing they did with wire work. I didn't mind the way it looked. It definitely looked more painful. The way the kid on the bike just on its side slammed against the tree. Surprised he didn't break his damn ribs. Terry herself has a flashback, and was not in the De Palma film, but I believe this was in the book, where she's talking with her mom, and you got these CG fireballs coming from the sky. But it just, with this, terrible CGI. It looked like a Sci-Fi Channel asteroid or something else coming down, with the meteorites are coming down, and we gotta get out of here. And again, the director like did this thing where like the camera keeps shaking. It's like, well, I gotta find some way to make it intense. Okay. Also, some of the dialogue is a bit weird. Like, Sue Snell is trying to explain to the cop David Teeth about how religion is at times too intense, too scary, how, it should be more relatable to people in terms of not so much doom and gloom all the time, but, the positive aspects, maybe elaborate on those. But the way she puts it is, shouldn't religion be more like dogs playing poker? I mean, I get what she's saying, but that's such a weird way to put it. Same with when one of the bullies in a scene that I kind of laughed, because if a teacher tried to do this today, goddamn, they'd be fired and sued and everything. But I did like this gym teacher for doing it. She sees what the bullies did to Carrie, to plug it up and then putting tampons in her locker. So the gym teacher just goes in and she goes AWOL. She goes apeshit. She's throwing tampons at the students. She's pushing them against lockers and pushes the main bitch. And I know that's thankfully not someone had a car crash outside. That's a TV that I left on, but I'm too lazy to get up. Oh well. The cats will have something to watch. But I approve of the gym teacher. I like her. I like that she sticks up for Carrie. I like that she's kind of a badass, and then pushes the bully bitch against. You can't do this. Oh yeah, I was ready for the gym teacher to say, "I'll put this fish through your face and put my foot up your ass." You know that girl. I like this girl. Again, even at the time this would ever happen, and especially today, it would definitely never happen. But I approve. But when this student leaves, she's like, "It's not even in this. It's not over. It's not even in the same area code as over." I'm like, "It's not even the same area code as over." I can't even say it right because it's so stupid. I'm like, my lips literally does not want to say the sign. I don't want to say the fucking thing because it's stupid. It's not even in the same area code as over. And then what is up with this music too? The music sucks. That's the thing when you watch this. When you have the option of watching the original Carrie, it kind of makes you go, well, what benefit is it to watch this instead of that? I guess if you want to watch the couple bits that are added, like the fireball going to the Carrie's house, or although wasn't that done for the ending? I feel like in the book that was done at the ending of the movie. Because again, I haven't read the book, so I apologize if I get this wrong. But I felt like at the ending of the book, there's the prom, then she destroys part of the town, then she goes to her mom's, and then they both die because she puts fireballs from the sky and it burns the house down. Is that how the book ends? I could be wrong on that. But here they put that bit in the flashback to the fireball to the house thing. But again, it's not bad. It's not like the CJ is as bad as the Landoliers, but it's pretty bad. Although I actually like the Landoliers, despite that awful CGI, because I like the cast, I like the story, I like the setup of it. But I actually do like the Landoliers, aside from the Pac-Man shit. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean by that. But yeah, I mean, I like Angela Bettis' performance. Again, I like the gym teacher lady. I got a smile out of. I liked the actress that plays Sue Snell. The other actors, The woman that played the bitch, I thought she was just pretty lackluster, pretty forgettable. The ones who played the bullies. The guy who plays the boyfriend of Sue Snell, who they agreed to take Carrie White. He's kind of there, but I could take or leave him. I thought it was at best forgettable. David Keith is cool to see as the cop, but again, the interrogation scenes, I just again I don't really. They didn't seem like they went anywhere. Like David Keith didn't really solve anything, didn't really find out anything. And I think it's like a 2 hour TV movie, and then the prom stuff is like the last 50 minutes of the film. So I do wish there was a bit more development between Carrie and Sue Snell, especially with the way it ends. Because again, it's supposed to set up for a TV show. So I do think there should have been more of Sue Snell trying to get to know Carrie, befriending her, talk with her. And maybe that's not in the book, of course, but the ending's not in the book either. I'll get to that. So yeah, to have more scenes of the two of them interacting, getting to know each other, Sue understand more of Carrie's plight, Carrie trusting Sue Snell more and more. I think that would have been appreciative. I would have liked that. But you have the prom stuff, and of course the bullies, which definitely the one the bully girl's boyfriend. He's like a lot more psycho in this movie because they go to kill the pig for the pig blood. And he's got like these wide eyed. I'm like, I thought there was gonna be like much more of a confrontation because they're making this guy so much of a psycho, but not really. I mean, they really make him seem like he's psychotic. The acting isn't the greatest, but I mean, I don't know. The way they were portraying him, I thought there was going to be much more of a confrontation, but not really. But yeah, the prom bit, there's the the pig's blood falling onto her. Bucket hits the guy. Although the sound they have of the bucket hitting the guy sounded Looney Tunes. It sounded like a bit cartoonish of a sound effect when it hit his head. And I know this isn't part of the book, but I would actually like a Carrie film where she's in blood and she's in shock, but then she sees the guy who took her out, and then comes down and sees that he's dead, and maybe like puts a hand on his face or on his pulse, and then that's when she gets pissed. Because not only is she covered in blood, but this her date is dead, and then that really tempers the fury. Not temper, but just like a gasoline pours on the fury and gets in the zone and unleashes. But maybe people would be against that. Yeah, that's just my own 2 cents on that. Because there's ever been a version that did that, but yeah, maybe I don't know. People, I guess, would argue it, but this little thing. The prom scene, Sally is. It really shows the weakness of this film compared to Brian De Palma. I know, well, yes, I do compare the two because they're called Carrie. And you see the way Brian De Palma did it, the way the tension, the split screens, the way it's paced. I'm not saying to copy it. I understand you can't copy it, but it's not nearly as effective because the director doesn't know how to build the tension. It kind of lags and people kind of scrambling around and screaming and scrambling around. Just a TV movie, you can't really get that violent. You can't really get too intense. At least with this TV movie it doesn't. And it doesn't become that effective of a sequence. Some CGI furniture is swirling around, so having a bit of CGI doesn't help. It's mostly real fire, but at the same time placed safely enough so it doesn't hurt anybody. A few people get killed. Principal gets shot. I know I'm spoiling, but it's Terry. I mean, either you read the book, or you've seen the original film, or you saw the remake. You've seen something with Terry, so it's not a whole lot of me spoiling stuff. Then pretty much, see, I'm already forgetting stuff. That's why I paused. Like I said, then it goes further than the original film. So at this point, people who have not read the book, there's going to be new stuff to them. She comes out, the school collapses again in pretty awkward CGI. She goes, and then there's some practical stuff where a gas station blows up, and this bit here and there, and there are CG additions. Now I know they did that in the remake as well, which was even more. I mean, that's more big budget CGI, but it was still a lot of CG. Disturbed place, confronts her mom. Her mom drowns her. She gives her mom a heart attack. Sue comes in, resuscitates Terry, and then Terry's alive. So I guess that is probably the one thing that is the most different about this is Terry lives. Terry does live. Now, Sue Snell, you're thinking, okay, is she worried? Is she ever sad about her boyfriend? Because she wasn't there at prom. She wasn't there. She was somewhere else. So she doesn't know. How would she know exactly what happened? I guess she was told. But at that point, I guess at that point she didn't know her boyfriend was dead, and then after with the investigation she was probably told what happened. The bucket fell on him and stuff. So I guess to be fair, but you never really see Sue, from what I remember, be sad about her boyfriend dying. Unless I missed it, I could be wrong, but I don't remember that. David Keith, I don't know if they brought his character up because maybe for if it became a TV show, maybe he would appear later on, like chasing them or investigating them or something. It ends with Sue driving Carrie, and they're going to go wherever, and I'm like, well, that's very awful nice of Sue to, because she is a high school student. So does that mean she just got rid of her life? Her family? Does her family know that she's going to be on this journey? Why, she don't drive Sue everywhere for years? That's what I mean. Like, that's what it would have been nice to have more of a development between Sue and Carrie, because I'm like, so again, is Sue just going to be her chauffeur for how many days, weeks, months, years? She's just going to drive her everywhere? What about Sue's family? What about, Sue's life? She didn't even fucking graduate. Like, you guys didn't even graduate. How you don't get work? How you don't get food? They kind of want people who graduated. You that's a little bit of a thing. So it does leave questions. I don't know if they even figured that out. I guess it would be explained in the TV show, I would assume. Like, does Sue, like, call her family? Does she say, oh, hey, sorry, I know I left, I didn't graduate, but, and then how nice is Sue to abandon her entire life to help this woman who, she knew for a little bit and, saved her life, resuscitate her, but, and I guess, she was in the zone. She wasn't in full control, but she still killed a shitload of people. But but they do make it a point where when she snaps out of it, she does remember what happened. I guess they go do the Bill Bixby thing, cue the Incredible Hulk theme. One thing I gotta mention though, like they try to do these two awful jump scares where first is try to do the graveyard jump scare and a hand comes through, but then Terry wakes up in the car, then she looks over and so one jump scare was about her mom, but then Terry looks over and she thinks she sees the bully. Oh, I didn't mention that the bully and her boyfriend they're driving in the car and she kind of flips the car up and kind of like the kid on the bike makes it fly to a tree, and by doing it the top part of the truck is crushed, so you get the idea. Now again there's CGI manipulation on that, so it's definitely not as effective as the De Palma one. I mean, I think that one they just blew the car. Didn't they just blow the vehicle up? But here it does fly up in the air, so they try to do something a bit different and a bit more showing her supernatural power. So I mean, it wasn't the worst looking thing. But like I said, with how crazy that bully seemed to be, I thought there'd be like some kind of more confrontation of some way, but there wasn't. And yeah, they're going to go off and they're going to have their Bill Bixby thing, and I guess the TV show was going to be, I don't know, Terry finding other, I don't know, finding other people that had her power, maybe. Yeah, I think with these kind of TV shows, okay, it'd be them helping people who's got their own crazy bit of business. Maybe there'd be an episode where something happens and then Sue Snell has the power. There'd probably be like an evil version of Terry. There'd be one where Terry's possessed and Sue has to snap her out of it. There'd be one where it'd be like a comedy episode. Maybe at one point they're on a plane and they can't get off the plane, but someone's going buck wild on the plane and Terry has to save the passengers. I don't know, I'm just thinking like what all the scenarios would have been for a TV show. Because no one really asked for a Terry TV show. But at the same time, I did like the Dead Zone TV show. I'm not big on anything Michael Hall much as a person, but I did think he did a good job acting wise, and I think that is a pretty solid show. I do like that show. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. As for the movie itself, it was watchable for Angela Bettis' performance. I thought she did a rather good job showing her vulnerability, her eccentric nature, but I felt sorry for her. I said I did like the actress who plays Sue Snell. I did like the gym teacher lady, who did survive, which is cool. I like that too, that they didn't kill her off. It was cool to see David Keith in there. A little bit of the differences were nice, so it wasn't a carbon copy, like Terry living. Seeing a bit of the town being destroyed at the end, that was in the book. So I guess if it depends how much you're into the Terry novel and the Terry storyline. If you want to see something done a bit differently, a lot of similar stuff, but look, I guess you could give it a watch. If you want to see a movie where Terry lives, you give the movie a watch. But again, the TV production values, the awkward, not so good CGI, some of the ridiculous lines of dialogue, it's definitely not a strong film. It was watchable. I didn't hate the film. I would never watch it again, but I honestly say I probably, despite the flaws, I probably liked it more than the remake, because I would say I liked Angela Bettis more, and again I liked some of the actors more, and I don't know. Definitely nostalgia if you remember those 2002 type of movies. So there you go. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.